Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a quick update. So this week's video is all about health and wellness, getting back into it. I have had a major, this is like my food confessions of the week, that I have not been doing so well on the nutrition side of life. I have been eating my emotions, I'll admit it. And sometimes when there's too much of like a good thing, I can like overindulge. So if it's like, for instance, a gluten-free, dairy-free product that is good and safe for me to eat, I'll tend to binge eat on that. So I had one of those weekends and I just had to remind myself, like, you need to write things down to figure out like what is triggering you to want to sit down and eat like 12 cupcakes in a row. I mean, that's just where I'm at right now. And yeah, so I have to admit that I just kind of went on like a binge. I did really good on Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, like everything just went downhill, and I've been craving like sugary treats and things like that. And it's been insane. I don't know. I can't blame anything else other than just feeling stressed out, in particular with life in general. And I think everyone is starting to feel that sentiment. And instead of making healthy choices and focusing on my goals, I'm choosing the easy way out, which is just to grab like a bag of chips and eat the whole Costco sized bag of chips in like a few days. Holding myself accountable by sharing that. And last night I decided before I went to bed, I said, I just need to get back onto my healthy exercise on the weekend. I have not been to Planet Fitness in months on the weekends. And I'm just like, if I could just go like even just one day on the weekend and go get back into my cycling and my walking again, I feel like, number one, it's going to help me get to my goal instead of like gaining weight, which I'm like 5 pounds over right now, which is not good. And I know I can get rid of that if I just stop eating the crap I've been eating. But anyways, I digress. We'll have the ghetto birds fly over real quick. Okay, there goes the ghetto birds. So that's kind of like where I've been at. I think it's a combination, like I mentioned, of just like what's going on and feeling like you don't have much control of what's happening in your life and what's happening in your country right now. I think that's really what I'm feeling. And then also just like a little bit of like loneliness, and I'm just like endlessly scrolling on dating apps and not getting anywhere. I'm getting nowhere. And you're just looking through and you're just like, there's like nobody is here. Nobody. It's a little depressing. Really kind of own up to just having a bad week with nutrition. It was just the whole national parks thing. There's so many people right now who are getting fired, but that was the one that really pissed me off. I just was going through my mind of all of my trips as national parks, all those moments, especially like my Utah trip and all the different people. For some reason, Capitol Reef is just sticking out in my memories really well. And I just remember meeting all of the different like rangers along the way. Just thinking about all those people are not going to be there. It just makes me feel really upset and really sad. Consequences of not having people who take care of the parks and who take care of the animals and do the research and explain to people why it's so important for us to conserve our natural resources. The national parks are for the people. Like, that's why they have been set aside, that no matter what else happens throughout our country, that there are pristine areas in our country that for generations people can go to and just enjoy natural spaces. I never really realized, and maybe because I just live in California, just how much of I really am all about like the environment and conservation and all sorts of things. And just I could go on about different, if you really believe in something, that you have to take action in to standing up for things that are right. And I've been doing a lot of writing to our congressmen and state senators and things like that, and trying to take that option at the moment, and then trying to figure out like what else can we do to stop the stupidity. Anyways, that's kind of where my head's been at. I just been really concerned and just thinking about all those people who are going through really difficult time, all the people who throughout the government that have lost their jobs over just stupid things. Thinking about even just the experience of going to the park. You go to the parks and you use the restroom, and the restrooms are usually really clean, and the trails are completely manicured, and the signs are there, and they're just there when people go and visit. But they don't realize that there are people who are continually cleaning and maintaining the trails. And for instance, when I was out there at Bryce Canyon, there was actually park rangers and some other contractors working on repairing one of their trails. And so it's just like these little things that you see it in action. And they're already, if you look at like how big national parks are, they're working on like a skeleton crew as it is, for as big as these parks are. Stand united with our national parks, and I'll do what I can to help. So this is the time, a call of action, that if you've never picked up the phone or sent an email or letter to your congressman or state senator, this is the time to do it. I think everyone at this point can pick a cause that they feel important, that is important to them, that they can identify with, and can do what Americans are supposed to do, which is to make these people that some of us have elected to do their jobs, basically, which is to fight for the people. I think a lot of my life, I feel like there's not a whole lot I can do, but then I have to like think about it and reframe that. And I think that's half the reason why I'm eating. The only things that I really can control are myself and what I do in my environment, what I can do to help others. Just thinking like, wow, like, did I record this weekend? And I didn't record. I've just been really like within myself, just kind of reflecting and watching and just kind of seeing just everything being dismantled, and people who are out in the media who are speaking up or being removed from their positions. It's just, I've never seen anything like it. We're almost going into like an underground and like getting our information in the news and stuff, because it's all now being filled with people who are not going to speak against injustices. Okay, we'll just say that. Yeah, I'm just highly concerned. I've been highly concerned about things that have been going on. You know, do I like go and volunteer at like national parks and help out with cleaning? And, you know, there's kind of been this questioning like with boycotting and things like that. The way that a lot of us feel who are Black women in particular, 92% of us voted in opposition of a certain politician, chose not to listen and disregard that. And unfortunately, they effed around and now they're finding out. This really isn't supposed to be like a political moment, but it's just like, I have to be real. I'm always real on my vlogs. I always have been, always will be. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't agree with me. Honestly, I don't care. I don't care if you don't agree with me. The freedom of speech that I'm supposedly supposed to have, I'm taking that moment to voice my opinion. Just so much going on that is impacting so many people's lives. And I was talking to some of my coworkers over the past couple of weeks, and we were just talking about how all the crazy stuff that's going on in our government right now is going to impact our funding, and it's going to impact our jobs. It's going to impact the families that we work with on a daily. And it's a little scary. How many times do people have to be like treat it and disregard it before people really get pissed off and are like, we have to do something now, like we have to take action now? All of this is happening during Black History Month. The past 2 months in 2025, just starting out the year, has been just awful. It's been really hard to stay positive, and I have been less active on our polos, which we have our Marco Polos, where we check in with all of our friends from Breakthrough to Success from last year, 2024. A lot of it is because when I get stressed out, I shut down and I just go within when I'm upset about stuff. Sorry about this guy over here. And all of this could have been prevented had people really paid attention and did research before they cast their ballot, which is really sad. That's the last I'm going to say about that. Of course, it's been 2 months of me not dealing with the podcast and stuff like that, and I need to get back into it. It's just every time I think about doing it, I'm like, I just put it on the back burner. I don't know why. I keep doing that, but I think right now it's some time more than ever to speak up and talk to people and talk about like what we're really feeling and what are the action steps that we can take. And so I think that's what I'll do today, is dealing with emotional eating. If that's something that you deal with, I know I deal with big time, that it's write down what you're feeling. And then number 2, you know, talk to someone about it. I better check before I call them. I think we're still covered, but there's this health coach called Marquis that we use for work, and this is provided by our company for free. And so you can call them and be like, I'm having trouble with this. And then they'll talk you through it about like solutions and ideas. I think for me, it's going to be getting back onto my old workout routine when I was really working hard to get the weight off, and to really focus on that for the next couple of months. And instead of, I was actually listening to Khloe Kardashian's podcast, which is really good if you haven't watched it. It's called like Khloe's Wonderland. And she was talking about when she was married to Lamar Odom. Actually, this season on The Kardashians on Hulu is really great because they're bringing people back from the past, like Khloe's first husband. Anyways, I can go on about it. Check it out. But she was talking about how she was going through this whole divorce thing, and she was talking to her therapist, and evidently her therapist sold the story. And she said the only person that knew about this information was myself and our therapist. And she was like, I know exactly. She goes, I didn't even share it with my mom or my sisters. So she knew. So she felt violated. And so she didn't know what to do with that. And so that's what got her into working out and making better choices for herself instead of like going out and drinking and, you know, and emotionally eating and things like that. And so that kind of just triggered me. I said, okay, well, I'm doing something similar. I can't control the situation. I feel violated by my rights as an American, and I feel like attacked, right? So I'm like, what can I do about that? And, you know, I did my action, which was to see what I could do to help. There's been so many situations, of course, with the fires. Like, it's like, what can I do to help? And now it's with all of these programs that support so many people in our communities that are not receiving funding right now because of stupidity, basically. So it's been a lot the past 2 months. We want things to get better. It's just been like, it's just been insane. The 2025 energy is not positive, and I don't know what it is. And so I feel like there's a mindset shift that we all need to do. You know, Americans, I know we have friends outside of the US that watch my stuff, but this is really like what's going on in real time and how like I personally feel. And, you know, I go back to the times of thinking about like my ancestors and our family from the past and the things that they had to endure and how we really have benefited from all the years of them fighting and dealing with discrimination and things like that. And it's like, well, now is our time to fight. We've had, you know, decades of life where we have been able to live a pretty peaceful life, and now it's our time to stamp our name in history and say, which side are we going to be on? And are we going to be for what our nation is stand for, which is, you know, the dignity of every person in our country and goodwill to other countries, or we're not going to do that, and we're going to just treat everybody like crap. I choose to follow the US Constitution and all that sort of thing, just dealing with all of this. And so I'm going to be posting my workouts, but I think what I should start doing is I need to start recording when I'm having like a moment. So I noticed that when I get upset about stuff, I will find something to eat and I'll just like go get something. Even if I'm trying to talk myself out of it, then I end up doing it anyways. And so I need to work on that. So I just know we're having like our fitness check-in, and I'm like 5 pounds heavier than I was last time, and I'm really upset about it. And so I'm like, if we were to have our check-in today, I would not make our fitness check-in. So I'm gonna have to do what I did a couple of times ago, that a week before I did my check-in, I worked out every single day, and I just ate clean, and I was able to hit my goal because I was doing like mad cardio, mad strength training, and I was like, I didn't do my 2-a-days, but I was going every single day. And I said, damn, might have to jump into 2-a-days for like a week or something, and just get up and either go walking or hit the gym before coming into work, and just really get myself back on a positive note. Start waking up earlier and hitting the gym for, you know, 30 to 45 minutes and do cardio, and then just get myself back on a good vibe. But it's been stressful. It's been really discouraging. And, you know, it's just been one of those things that I haven't been like talking about with too many people, because it's like when you're just trying to be around people, you're just trying to like distract yourself from everything that's going on, but you really can't, because so many people are impacted that you're walking through life and you're like, well, shoot, like eggs are like $9 now because of like the whole freaking bird flu thing. And yeah, it's been crazy. I am probably going to check out now, but I just wanted to just have my little rant about life, getting back on track with goals. Sorry guys, my phone overheated, so I just wanted to wrap up this video. Thanks for listening to me voice my feelings. That hasn't even begun to voice my feelings. That's just like a sample of my feelings. Maybe, you know, I'll share a little bit more in future videos. I don't know. Make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Leave a comment as well. I'll also put some links on my webpage that if you so feel inclined to reach out to your state senator and your congressmen or women regarding some of the things that are happening across the US and you want it to reach out, I'm sure there are a number of issues that people are having some strong reactions to, then make sure you contact your congressman, and I will send you guys a couple of links on a couple of the topics that I am passionate about. I'll link you up with the page where you can send a nice little note to your representatives to tell them how you really feel. And lastly, to follow up with, basically funding being messed up for millions of people across our country. That also includes messing with my people in Altadena that are trying to recover from these wildfires. I take personal issue with that. And so my thoughts are, if we're not going to receive federal funding, then we will find a way to do it ourselves. I'm willing to go out there with my hammer and figure out how to build a house, okay? Like, that's kind of my vibe right now. It's funding that really impacts people's lives. And I can go down the litany of services that people need or have on a daily from the government that kept everything smooth and has been smooth for decades. And granted, yes, we do need to cut some funds for certain departments, but it's not the certain departments that are being cut right now, which is insane. Not getting on a plane anytime soon until they have figure out all the crap that's going on, even though they basically fired, the FAA and things like that. So I don't know how that's going to go. Debrief of the day, and I need to take a moment and just maybe go for a walk and decompress after this. But yeah, it's been challenging times, and we're only 2 months into the year, which is really scary. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.